to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn, because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. From my home, cracked and broken asphalt everywhere. I could have ended up just like that broken road, with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve, because one street over there's a life I could have known would have kept me from the one I love today.
Good morning. Good morning. This is 11.
One street over there's a life I could have known.
What's going on, One Street?
Things aren't always.
No, it took me a minute to turn the microphones on. I hear from people on social media. They go, "Will you turn the microphones on? We can see y'all in there talking, and you don't have the mics on." Well, it's because I was talking with Will Elliott. What is your title? I forget.
So my title is I'm the CTE EPSO coordinator for Robertson County Schools.
There you go. There you go. He's one of my bosses. Okay, and because I'm a CTE teacher. And so him and Mark Gregory are my two supervisors, really, from the CTE world. And I have to say something really quick, though. Clay Jones was in here for a minute ago. I accidentally booked him in for Music City Farms. I met him at our trunk or treat, and I had forgotten to write down that Mr. Gregory had said, "Hey, we wanted to, talk about this week." And I apologize, Clay. We're going to have him back maybe next week, as quick as that, because he's a local entrepreneur, and great guy. We just hit it off. He gave us a couple of pumpkins for our Sleepy Hollow Legend of the Headless Horseman spoof that we did, with the green screen and all that. If you haven't seen that, you really need to watch some of it. You need to go watch our stuff, because it's really cute. But the kids did a great job on it. And but we needed a pumpkin, because it was like all that was left was the shattered pumpkin, and I needed a pumpkin to bust. And so he gave us a couple of pumpkins to bust, and the one that was the head for the. It was great. It was funny. But anyway, Will Elliott's in the house, and we're talking about. I asked him as soon as I said, I said, "Now remind me what Mr. Gregory said we need to talk about." So go.
All right.
There you go.
So we'll just talk a lot about dual enrollment, and the part of my title is EPSOs. So early post-secondary opportunities is what that part stands for.
Define the acronym.
That's right. Got to define all those. We love to speak in acronyms in education world, just as some other people do, but nobody knows what they mean. I always tell people I'm the coordinator of acronyms, since that's all my title really is.
I love it.
But so EPSOs, or early post-secondary opportunities, include dual enrollment opportunities, dual credit opportunities. There's some other ways to get in there. They get really into the weeds. Those are the two main ones we focus on in our county. We have a lot of different avenues that students can do that. So what a dual enrollment is a way for a student to be enrolled in high school and in a college at the same time, and getting a credit for both high school and college. And they'll carry that college one on after graduation. And we've had some exciting things going on in our dual enrollment world, and it continues to grow. We have one of the best partnerships we started last year. If you all don't know, Vol State and University of Tennessee Martin have joined forces out there at the Highland Crest campus out there. They have their logos up now, so Vol State and UT Martin both have a presence in the building, and they found a local. Most people around here that have been involved in agriculture probably know Mr. John Bartee, and he is the UT Martin guy over there now. We have a great partnership with all of them, but now we have a way for a high school student starting their junior year of high school to enroll in an ag business program where they can start their Bachelor of Science degree in ag business. They start at their junior year, continue their senior year. They continue after school, and they never have to leave Robertson County, and they can get their bachelor's degree from the University of Tennessee at Martin in ag business.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And I mean, and just talking about the dual enrollment, I have, several kids that I've been close to that Mackenzie Wood, I mean, she ended up getting her associate's degree while she was in high school. So now she is in the nursing program at Tech and was the only technically freshman, because she's freshman on campus, but she's not because she's already got her associate's degree. She was the youngest one admitted to the program.
Yeah.
And she, there were several, I think we had 4 or 5 that graduated with an associate's degree last year, but that blows me away that here, and at practically, no cost for them, really.
Yeah.
And that's what's amazing is to get those education hours in without that cost.
Right.
Man, it is incredible.
The dual enrollment grant, which is what we use most of the time, that is a great thing the state has. Students have to maintain, now it's a 2.0 GPA, college GPA.
Right.
They have to maintain that 2.0 college GPA. It pays for 5 classes. And, after the 5, there's a discounted rate.
Right.
So it's still into effect some, but it doesn't fully cover the classes. And next year, I won't spoil it too bad. We've got some more associate degree possibilities coming.
Okay.
So we've been in the talks, and we're expanding our programs a little bit more and going to have a great way for students to experience college life in high school. Those that want to take that path. That path's not for everybody, but those that want to take that path. We have a lot of students that do TCAT.
TCAT is awesome.
Yeah.
Coach White took a bunch of kids to TCAT yesterday, and I was so impressed. We went there on one of our PD days early this year, and I was so impressed with that place.
Yeah,
so impressed with that
the
place.
TCAT out here in downtown Springfield just has for the building it is, there's so much in that building and so much for those students to be able to do in all those stations and learning about how to work on pneumatics, hydraulics. Yeah. There's so many things in there they can learn, and the students love it. It's a hands-on learning opportunity that you don't always get in a high school class. So it's a great way to kind of bridge the gap between what they've learned in high school and then taking it a couple steps further into the TCAT program. And TCAT Nashville has been a great partnership for us. They've really helped us and been ready to go whenever we've asked. Getting this out here, we used a give grant to do that. Us and the Chamber and TCAT Nashville, we got that accomplished, which took a lot to get that building ready to have all that, because that was a lot of power we had to add into that building. And then we have our TCAT programs at Springfield High School. We got welding, and that's been there for a few years, and it is book solid. Our teacher, they keep coming, and she even does summer programs for them at the high school.
I love this woman.
Oh yeah, she's great.
Women are excellent welders.
Yes,
I was a very
many
good welder
times
because I took welding. I mean, I did some welding from FFA because I was FFA, but this is like the 70s. But I mean, and I actually went to the TCAT, I guess, up in Portland. Is that the one I went to?
Yes.
So it's all the same program but different buildings. So I misspoke because we do have the one here now.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, but it's still, I mean, it's just amazing stuff. And I love it when the kids tell me that they're interested in welding and they're in a welding program and they just really, there's a couple of kids that I know that I've had in my homeroom, one in particular, because I didn't really know because I try to ask them, what are you doing at graduation? Because it's coming fast, because I got seniors now. And he told me welding. I'm like, yes. We got a kid that's been, I was talking to just the other day, that's one of my husband's students, and he had the same response. One of my kids that graduated last year is going into welding. I mean, it's a great industry. I mean, it's a really great job. It's
still a growing industry. It's still a high demand industry. There's a lot of opportunities within it, depending on where you want to go. We have a great business partner locally with them, and our teacher, the TCAT teacher, she's a TCAT teacher, and we just allow them to use our building, and it works out for everybody. But she actually created a partnership with UNARCO,
Oh,
And
wow. Okay.
UNARCO, for the last 2 years, has donated. That's the one thing about TCAT classes is when a student starts, they usually have to bring some equipment or get some equipment. And in welding, it's no different. They have to get an angle grinder. They have to get a helmet. They have to get the welding outfit that they have to wear. UNARCO, for our first-year students for the last 2 years, has donated that.
Oh, that's great.
And sometimes that can be up to 40 students sometimes that are brand new into that program, and they haven't batted an eye. They come and present it, and it is great to watch because those students look like they're just opening Christmas presents when they open those boxes, and they're so excited because that's a lot of money that they would have had to spend.
Believe it. Yeah.
And UNARCO to step up and say, hey, we want to give it to them and get them started right in the career, and whether they come to us or whether they go anywhere else, we just want to be a part of it, and we appreciate them giving back. That's been a great partnership that we've been able to form, and there's so many more that keep happening. We have a new program going in right next door to our welding. Starting in January, we will finally have our HVAC program up and running. That has been getting the shop ready and finding an instructor. Too many people are making too much money in HVAC, and they don't want to leave. And I get it. I wouldn't want to leave either. But we found a guy who's been doing it for 28 years, and he's tired of crawling under houses and crawling in hot attics. And
I'll be retiring into teaching like my husband and I did.
That's right.
There you go.
And he is joining us, and he's going to take off with these students, and we're going to grow that program. We've always had a lot of students ask about HVAC, and so they're going to learn to work on air conditioner units, and he's already making partnerships and getting some units donated.
That's right.
So we hope to have a partnership between that program and our maintenance program with the school system.
Oh, that'd be handy.
Because you know how many HVAC problems we tend to have, all our old buildings and old HVAC systems sometimes, they don't like to cooperate in the summer or the winter months, so...
Yeah.
You know, they keep us busy.
That's a topic that seems to come up every time Dr. Weeks is in here. I got to be honest with you. Somewhere, I think we talked about something with an HVAC system that's got to be, taken, because they were talking about the budget and what they're going to be doing as far as projected improvements, and it seems like it's always on the table, something about the HVAC system.
Oh, yeah, and we hope to provide some help
there
to maybe work on some
great.
HVAC systems.
That'd be awesome. Very cool. So I love it. I mean, this is stuff... I tell the kids, I said, man, you're alive at such a cool time. I mean, you'd have to tie me down because I was interested in so many different things as a young person. And I would just be going, oh, there's this and there's this and there's this. And that would be my issue, to be trying to narrow my focus. But I said, all your different options. I mean, college, like you said, isn't for everyone. All four of my boys went to college, have degrees, but they had to have them for what they do. I mean,
right.
You can't be an electrical engineer without a degree. You can't,
That's correct.
You can't do I'm not going to start bragging on my boys. It's real easy to do. I could just give you the list of what they're doing, but they all needed their degrees to do what they do.
Right.
But I've got a nephew up north that is a union pipe fitter that's probably making more money than all of them.
Oh,
frankly, because he is like a lead guy. He's like he's like high up. And he's rocking it. Didn't go to college, but he's a beautiful example of going into the trades, just how far you can soar. And it's amazing, the opportunities, and they're everywhere. I hear stories all the time about kids that are a couple of years out of school and they're doing some trade job and they're making astronomical amounts of money. And it's not just. You want to love it. You want to love what you do, but you have to know that you've got to make a living. That's one of my big things with my kiddos that are interested in videography and all this kind of stuff. I said, guys, it touches everything you do now. Everything you do, this touches it. But if you want to be in front of the camera, how are you going to make your living while you're trying to get established? you've got to know the ins and outs of it. And there's so many different things you can do. As one young girl that's about to graduate, she told me once she wants to be a voice actor.
Yeah.
And I get that, but she's brilliant. She's one of our smartest students ever and would be an amazing engineer. And I told her, I said, you could be an engineer or whatever, or go into, some high-end trade with her brain. I said, and then you could have fun with all these things you love to do in the arts, and you wouldn't be stressed over money. There's so many options to these for these kids.
There is.
So many options. And this dual enrollment program, man, it's just a perfect example to where you can showcase it. If your kids have not talked to you about the opportunities, that's why Will's here. And is to say that if you've got kiddos, if you've got grandkids that are coming up through the school system and they're about to hit high school, talk to them about this stuff and say, do you understand that you could start now in taking these classes as you go along, and you could have an associate's degree on the when you graduate from high school. You will actually get your associate's degree awarded to you 9 times out of 10 before you actually get your high school diploma. That's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
That's incredible.
I would have never thought that would have been a possibility, especially when I was in school.
Yeah.
And then dual enrollment was really entering when I graduated high school, and I took English. But that was it. Now we've got students doing math and psychology and speech classes. And when I was in the classroom, I told my students all the time, I was like, this is a great opportunity for you. And I said, now speech, I would not want to have done with my peers. I enjoyed doing that in college in front of people I didn't know because they had no idea what I was talking about because I made every speech about agriculture and they didn't have a clue. So it was fine. But they loved doing it in front of their peers, and that would have not have been me at all. I would have wanted to do that, but it's a great opportunity. They get to go in there and do the speech classes, do the psychology. The psychology classes that Ball State offers that we get to do in person, they have a great teacher, and I cannot remember his name, but when I was at East Robertson, he took all the students to the women's prison, and they got to see everything. They really talked through psychology of a lot of different situations, and the students walked out of there with a great understanding about just life in general. It was really neat to see. That would have never been even a possibility when I was going to Joe Burns back in 2005, 2006. I don't think we'd have ever thought about the ability to take all these college courses, much less we barely thought about the ability to take English as a college course. But now they have all these opportunities. And the cool thing is, too, that they get to use them and look into their future, but they're really taking a lot of general education a lot of times. And we're trying to that's kind of our goal now, is to throw a little bit of our CTE courses in there to let them see, is this truly a path you want to take?
Right.
And we have dual enrollment criminal justice. And we're going to do more opportunities with that with All State. And that really gets students in to see, is this really a path I want to do? And I think I was at an advisory council meeting with All State the day before yesterday, and their president said, sometimes the best thing we do is teach kids what they don't want to do.
Exactly.
They figure out, hey, this is not for me. And sometimes that's what dual enrollment does for a student. They figure out, hey, this isn't for me, and that's fine. We've saved somebody a lot of money in that process. And I think that in itself is a great opportunity to really get the student to understand, hey, this is what college looks like. And we're going to really focus on getting them that in-person experience as much as possible here in the future. And I think that's what's really going to help some students realize, okay, I can do this, or, okay, maybe this isn't quite for me. Maybe I need to go back and talk to my guidance counselor and talk to my parents and see what other options I may have. And that's a great conversation to have too. So it's not always about, the opportunities we create aren't always about making students successful in the minds that people think. Sometimes it's making them successful in figuring out what they don't want to do to guide them to what they want to do.
I love that.
And that's a great piece that people don't always think of on the dual enrollment side. Is it gives them a way to understand, hey, this is what I want, or nah,
maybe not. After I kind of touched that, I'm like, there's a local young girl who I know. She's getting on up there now. She's probably, I don't know, she's in her 30s by now. But I remember when she was going, she's brilliant, number one, super smart, and went into medicine, but then got into the latter classes. I mean, had gone through pretty much and got into the clinical side of it and couldn't take all the smells. Now she's an attorney, she's just that smart. But yeah, she's like, She's an attorney. And so I just thought, man, it wouldn't have been nice if she'd have figured that out earlier on.
Right.
And so that you can, like you said, save yourself an awful lot of
I've
money.
heard a lot of stories of people that they wanted to be nurses, and then they realized at the sight of blood they passed out. So, it's not quite going to work for you. And, in health sciences, we have a lot of opportunities for students, and it really gets them into a clinical experience if they follow it all the way through. And we have a lot of students that go into nursing, but we're in the hospital capital of Tennessee, basically.
Oh, yeah.
We got hospitals all over around here where there's people not too far from us that, a couple hours away that they have to travel to us to get to a hospital.
You bet. And we actually have a group. Our hosts of kids are going to Northcrest today for a field trip.
Oh yes, the symposium is today.
Yes, they're having a trip up there today. So you're going to see a bunch of high school students in their scrubs out there. I think that's so great. I love Miss Lycan. She's at our CTE in the medical sciences and all that. She's in class with me. Our program to teach us to teach.
Oh yeah.
We're about to graduate from that, by the way. We're so excited. We have 2 more classes and we're done. And so she's been driving back and forth to Murfreesboro with me, or almost to Murfreesboro. And it's like, it's a lot, but we're just about done. So anyway, what else do we need to talk about? We've still got some time here, Will. Talking with Will Elliott, and he'll have to tell you his exact title, but he's with the CTE program, talking about dual enrollment and the
EPSOs.
EPSOs, which is
early post-secondary opportunities.
Thank you. And that's about dual enrollment. And we're talking about some of the kiddos that we've known that had their associate's degree before they got their high school degree. That's incredible. And it's just amazing. So all kinds of opportunities out there. There's some cool stuff happening in our area. I'm so excited to know about it. And I've said that so often, sitting at this desk and doing this radio show opened up a new world to me that I had just been busy, because I was a Nashville commuter. My whole career had been in Nashville, and I just didn't really know what was going on here in Robertson County, man. And we got it going on.
Oh, yeah.
We have got so much going on. It's wonderful stuff.
There's so many things that are happening, and the only way you're going to know is if you get involved with the schools and go in them. Go to the school. We experience a lot of people that don't always know what's going on. And when we take them and tour the Career Tech Center over there at Springfield High School, and they see that, you have a construction shop that they learn, and they're building a building right now behind Springfield High School for our culinary program.
That's great, yeah.
And
my husband's, he's like, they're blocking my view.
Yeah, he's not going to have the greatest
blocking
view.
my window. It's like, that's what I heard. As soon as they started building it, he's like, you're not going to believe this. I had this great view. Now I'm looking at a building. So
that's right. It happens. But
it happens.
People don't understand what all is out there that we teach. And in the AV world, they don't understand that we have a full studio.
Mm-hmm.
We have a full studio that students can learn in.
Yep.
And people don't understand sometimes what it really looks like until they see it and they lay eyes on it.
Mm-hmm.
And, the same thing with students. They got to lay eyes on it sometimes to really fully understand. And that's what we try to do. And we try to get out documents to parents. We try to get out documents to students. And we have to educate our teachers and guidance counselors. But educating the public is a big piece, too.
What's so funny, you talk about the studio. I have people that come, because I'm at the very end of the hall, and they'll come down. They're like, I've heard about your room, but I've never seen it. And they come in and they look around, and then I take them into the studio, and they're like, oh, this is where you do the news. I'm like, well, where do you think we did it? I mean, of course we got to have a studio. You see it on there, but I get so tickled. That have been in the building with me, and they've never been down there to see it.
Right.
And so, we try to put it out there as best we can, but people just don't realize what we are building. And we are building another studio. I mean, you're going to have
we're building another one
at Springfield. Mm-hmm. They're going to have one too. I got to get with Bruno. I want us to do a competition with each other.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
I've got to call him. I want to do it before Christmas, so got to get on it because it's coming fast.
We've ordered him a lot of equipment already, so
good.
It's on its way.
Good.
And he's enjoying life. I know he's really enjoyed the students.
Mm-hmm.
We talked to him Monday at the PD, and he's happy to be there and happy to be doing it. I think this is going to be a great venture for him as well.
A really good talent. I mean, he's got the experience he's bringing in, and so I was tickled to see that y'all were able to get somebody that's been in the industry and done the work. And so he can bring a lot to it. And he's a young guy too. I'm not, so we got to bring some youngins in this stuff. And so I think it's going to be a great program. But yeah, I mean, we've got another studio coming in, y'all. So it's just fun. I just love it all. It's just neat. I just love being a part of it. I really do. I have so much fun. I know I get stressed out and busy. It's just because I'm trying to learn all this stuff. And I want to be the best at it I can be.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot of technology to learn, but it's great because I'm loving it. I was telling the students yesterday, I said, I wish I just had a week just to sit and watch tutorials.
Oh,
Because I'm on tutorials all the time watching. I'm like,
I just think if you didn't have those.
I can't imagine.
Right.
Isn't it just amazing the things we can learn? I show the kids. I'm like, this is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Right at your fingertips. It's just amazing. The whole world. We talk about the knowledge doubling curve. I don't know if you've ever heard this. It's the theory that say prior to 1900, if you were to invent something, right? If you were to come up with some earth-shattering, revelation, it would take about 100 years for it to span the globe. Because of the way we communicated. Of course, it became shorter and shorter as technology and communications got better. Now it's about 12 hours. That's the knowledge doubling curve. And so we used to be limited. Our knowledge and what we could study was limited by what we had in our library or libraries we had access to.
Wow. Yeah.
Now we have everything.
Yeah.
And I bring, this is a Christian station. I bring that into a lot of the theology and stuff that I'm studying because everybody's going, LaVern, why are we just now learning that? That's why. Because no matter what you study, what your passion is, whatever you were studying, you were limited to the libraries you had access to.
That's right.
You have no limits anymore.
Or the encyclopedias you were able to have.
I have a set of encyclopedias. It was so funny, the library, when they were renovating the library, they were getting rid of books. This beautiful set of encyclopedias, and they were giving them away. And I took them, and they're in my classroom. Well, now that we've cleaned out my parents' home, I've got the encyclopedias that are mine that I used in the 70s to write all my papers.
Wow.
And so I have them there in the classroom. And if they get in trouble, they get one of them encyclopedias out and write me a paper. We can old school it, y'all.
That's right.
We can old school it. But just to see the incredible, changes. That's why I love about us older folks. Go teach. Kids need to see through your eyes because you've seen so much change, and it's incredible. And they need to see it through our eyes because all they know are screens. They don't know what life was like prior to that.
No.
And these are wonderful, but they're incredibly addictive. And
they don't know that a TV wasn't flat.
Oh no, I know.
They think they're all flat screens.
I tell them. I talk about the moment whenever, because it used to be if there was a movie that you wanted to see, you had to catch it in the theater, and maybe it might come on television, but that's the only way you could see it. I'll never forget being able to go and get the videotapes of a Charlie Brown Christmas. And I was like, I can watch it anytime I want.
There you go.
Because I used to have to watch it. We'd have to rush home after church to see it.
Oh, yeah.
And just the having the first VCR and being able to, I can watch a movie anytime I want. It was just incredible. I remember those things. The kids are just looking at you like, you're from the, like, Nate Bargatze says, I'm from the 1900s. I'm from the 1900s.
That's right.
So anyway, all right. Will Elliott's here. He's one of my bosses in the CTE program. Anything we're missing that you want to cover?
So,
I'll Brian come in here.
I got one more thing
Yeah,
just to kind of talk about the Ready Graduate piece of how EPSO fits into Ready Graduate. And just to kind of inform everybody, because that's been our big thing, is try to inform people what Ready Graduate is. Students are hearing it. Guidance counselors know it. Teachers know it. Administrators know it. But parents probably have either never heard it or have heard it and have zero idea what it is. So it's kind of a state distinction in a way. The state rolled this program out years ago now, but it's becoming more into light. So to become a Ready Graduate, the easiest way is to make a 21 on their ACT. There's other ways. The other way is have 4 EPSOs. So 4 dual enrollments, or, it can be dual enrollment or dual credit. And then another way is 2 dual enrollments or 2 EPSOs and 1 industry certification.
Career safe.
That's right. and we offer, all the seniors right now are able to take employability skills.
There you go.
20-hour certification that teaches them a lot of soft skills. So that's a great thing that the district has done this year, is we want seniors to be ready to succeed, whether they're going to college or going to work, because all of them are going to work at some point.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter whether they go to college first or go straight into the workforce. And then last way is 2 EPSOs and then a achieving score as according to the state in ASVAB, which right now I believe is a 31. So the ASVAB test.
That's the military test
yes.
that we take. That they
And
take.
it's got a lot of career aptitudes in that test. And we tell students, too, that if you still hadn't decided what you want to do, take the ASVAB. It's a great measure of career, just like our U-Science test is. But it gives you another measure, and it's a free test you can take. Mm-hmm. So Ready Graduate is a big thing that we're trying to push, and we're learning. We do industry certifications well in our district, and we just need to get these EPSO opportunities out there to more students and let them understand it's okay to go outside what you know, and in high school, it's okay to get out a little bit, and don't be scared to fail. That's part of life. We're all going to fail at something, but we're going to learn from it and move on. And why not do it right now when it's not as big of an impact to your life? You're in a safe, you're in a safe atmosphere to be able to do that. So, that's one of those things we really want to push and get students to understand is it's okay to challenge yourself a little bit and take that little leap and not just take the easy road. We want to make sure our students are challenged. So when they graduate, they know what a challenge is. And they've had to struggle before. And we want them to be able to see that.
I love it. And I love being a part of it. I love all this. And I've said something about career safe because I'm tasked with implementing that at our school. And the kids are like, why are we having to do this? And it's part of being a Ready Graduate. It's part of that. And I said, and it's good for you. You're going to learn some communication skills. You're going to learn the things that frustrate us when we go in somewhere and we have kids that can't, make change. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's good. And that don't know how to communicate. Because of these things, we've lost a lot of our skill at communicating.
Yes.
And you've got to be better at communicating. And so, that's why I'm telling them, let's do it. It's you're the new ones that have to do it. You got to do it right now. We got some getting ready to early graduate, and I was like, you got to get this done.
That's right.
Get it done.
That's right.
Anything else, Will?
I think that's got us covered.
Good deal. Thank you.
No
It's so
problem.
good to see you.
Good to see you.
friend, And I'm sure I'll see you at the office. So
Yeah.
I got something done they've been tasking me with, and I was so proud of myself. So
That's
be
right.
sure and tell them. Tell Carla.
I'll tell Carla to look at it in the morning, and she'll
one
get that
check.
little green check on your name, and you'll be
I'm so
happy.
excited. I'm so excited. Thank you so
No
much.
problem.
Thank
Thank
you, Will.
you.
Tell everybody I said hey.
Will do.
God bless you guys, and thank y'all for joining us. This is 1100 WSGI. I'm going to let Will make his way out, and I saw Brian and Catherine both here today. So we've got a full house from United Way, and we're going to talk to them, and as they make their way in, we're going to talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. I was talking with somebody else about them last night, and they have been such a blessing to this program, such a blessing to our community because they just help in so many different ways, the community. And it's just, when I mention their name, so many different people say, oh, yeah, I know them. They helped me with a video for this, or they helped me, had questions about this. And they just are so involved in the community. That's why I love talking about them, is because they have got a lot of skin in the game. They're Cross-Plainians. They've been there for nearly 30 years. So they've made Robertson County their home. They're originally from Kentucky like myself, but they've worked all over. They've had diverse careers. Rebecca's been at the real estate game much longer than Barry. She was one of the first in the area to actually be a seniors real estate specialist, which means she specializes in making sure if you're older and it's time to downsize, you need to do something different. She understands all of that, and there's a lot to it. Barry, the marketer, coming out of that marketing background for nearly 17 years, the vice president of a media marketing company. If you're selling property, people need to see it in its best light. They need to have great pictures. They need to have videography. They need drone footage. They want that. They want those cool walkthrough tours. They can do it all for you and do it perfectly. If you want to be a realtor, they would love to mentor you. The Exit Prime is the Exit real estate company is a great one to work with. They were with the Garden Gate team for many years with Exit, and now they've developed their own branch in the Exit tree, Exit Prime Realty, with his brokerage office and her agency office up in White House. Combine those two, and they'd love to bring you on board and help you in any way they can. Buying, selling, maybe you want to be a realtor, whatever it might be. Reach out to them at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy, B-U-Y, robertsoncounty.com. As always, please let our sponsors know that U-Turn sent ya. We're looking for some new sponsors, by the way. Makes me sick.
That's right.
Full confession, I haven't done my giving box
That's
yet.
okay.
I couldn't.
We're in progress. You're good.
My grandkids were booked Saturday. I went to the basketball game, and they had friends over that were spending the night, and so I couldn't do it. And so I'm going to try again Saturday. And if they can't go, I'll just do it and bring it.
You're fine. You're fine. It's
But I
it's
wanna go do it
ongoing.
with the grandkids,
Sure.
you know. But I
Mama needs to do that.
I know, but it'll
See that on your. It's on your laptop.
Mama.
Mama?
Mama.
Mama.
Is that what
I'm
they call? Is that what they call you?
Mama.
Okay.
The only grandparent that I ever knew was my mama, and she was beyond precious. And her husband, Pawpaw, he's a little bit cantankerous, but he was wonderful too. So when they said pick a grandparent name, I didn't even give my husband a choice. I said, "You're Pawpaw, I'm Mama. We're doing it." And he's like, "Well, okay." 'Cause, men don't get to have any say in it.
That's just
you
our
don't.
life.
You just do what we
That's
tell
our
you
life.
to do.
Best advice I ever got. Yes, that sounds great. Great idea. Yes, honey. That's a wonderful idea. Yes.
It's just the truth.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but it's fun. It's fun. But yes, I'm Mama. And so, how are we doing? What are we talking about? I know we got the give thanks
Well,
going.
give thanks.
Do you
we
want to
got give
start
thanks.
there?
Yeah,
So we're kind
Catherine
of
can
like right on
jump
top
in
of
there.
that. This needs to get done.
Yeah.
We need to get it done.
Yes.
Well, we can still, of course, accept more boxes. But Give Thanks was awesome. It was a great turnout. We had in Robertson County a little over 200 boxes or so, right around 200.
Awesome.
And 3 different recipients for the
Distribution points.
distribution. Yeah.
Open Door Family Resource Center, and then of course United Ministries is our main food bank
Yes.
there in Robertson County, and so we had generosity of. I want to give a shout out to a couple of key people. Farmers Bank, which is one of our corporate partners, who does a campaign as well. They collected. I picked up theirs yesterday. We got it over to United Ministries, and then the Sheriff's Department.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
came
they
through
really
huge.
they did
Yeah.
a great job.
Yeah, so
Tons
that,
of boxes and help
Yeah.
load and all. Yeah, they did wonderful.
they're
So
always
big
pitching
thank
in.
you to
So
them.
big shout out to the Sheriff's Department here in Robertson County. Yeah.
Just talking about having that the event happened. They had the Nashville event where they did the distribution. Just like me, if you still want to do one and you haven't done it, get it done and drop it at their office.
We will accept
And
it.
they'll-
Yeah.
yeah. And they can-
Give me a call, 615-780-2401, 615-780-2401. Be glad to meet you. If it's not too many, I can come by and get them if you're around. If you can't get over there, but or you can just meet them, and then we'll make sure to get it to United Ministries. That's who's getting our extras, just because her need is great. I think her list is grown. I'll just say
Would it
that.
be easier
Yeah.
for us just to take them to United
You can just take
Ministries?
them to United
Yeah.
Ministries. If their hours are a little limited, though,
yes,
they're
yeah.
I think they're like 10 to 2 because they're
I wouldn't be able to
completely
do it 'cause
it's
of school.
completely volunteer run. So if
Yeah.
you can get there during the time they're open, feel free
Yeah.
to take them by. They will gladly accept those. If you can't for whatever reason, we'll meet you outside those hours and make sure they get them.
And they've got the list. You can if you Google "Give Thanks United Way" food list. you
Yeah.
can
Yeah,
find
it's
it
on our
pretty easy.
Facebook page as well.
Yeah, you can
So-
find it pretty easily. Is the card's $25, right?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
we had talked about they were going to raise it.
They had discussed it just due to the inflation,
Yeah.
but I think they kept it at the 25. And that
Turkeys, I bought 2 turkeys yesterday.
Yeah.
They were $30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like,
and it can be used for whatever you want. I mean, it's because we had that question as well. It's like, well, what if they're vegetarian or what? It's like it's just a gift card. You can use it for whatever you want. And some of our families need other things. Use it for that. Whatever you need it for. That's the point of it. So yeah,
very cool. I
Yeah.
love that program.
Yeah.
And get out with your kids and do it. That's what I'm trying to book my grandkids to do. But well, what else do we have going on?
real quick before I just want to. We had a lot of volunteers this year. I think more so than we have in the past
Awesome.
that delivered for us. Which I'm a delivery guy, and this that's been my role. I run a truck and do the deliveries. So it took a load off me. Thank you very much. But I just want to give a shout out to all of our volunteers. We had 1,500 boxes throughout our 9-county
Oh, wow.
footprint. That's going to a lot of places, including we had a couple that came up this way and delivered to United Ministries directly and delivered to Open Door. And so I just want to thank our volunteers that stepped up and came over and picked up and got them to where they need to go, because it's a lot of moving pieces and boxes literally in this process. And so just thank you for the volunteers, all their hard work.
Yeah, and to echo that, this is my first year with the Give Thanks boxes, and I was a loader, not a driver, but yeah, just having those volunteers to help load and fill the cars and help it run smoothly and check people in. And it's just kind of one thing after the next. And it was just really a well-oiled machine, and it went really well. And I think a huge part of that was with the volunteers that showed up.
I love it. And you think about what the economy's been right now. And just imagine what it is for families that are just barely getting by. What it is that they're not going to have Thanksgiving. That's one of the hardest things when I talk about holidays around the kids, because you can see it in the faces of some of the students that their holiday's not what we would expect it to be.
Yeah.
And that hurts your heart, and
It
you would
does.
love to know
Yep.
more and know what you could do to help. But this is something you can do to help, because that's the families that they're reaching out to. And you can tell. I tell people all the time about 211 and how you can access programs that you just didn't know existed. And I got all kinds of stories about things that we have connected because you guys have helped us connect to them, and I appreciate it. The Bethlehem Center. I never knew they existed, and I've got just a wonderful success story from that, and I just love all these different programs that I didn't even know were out there. 211. You can find out about them.
211.
Just call them.
Just
and
call
ask
us
just
and
call
we'll
it,
connect you.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but 211 if you just need a pinch and a resource, or if you meet someone that's just in a crisis situation, or that's a great first step, because they're going to not only try to help them in the moment, but help them moving forward. With some long term stuff that will hopefully get them in a better situation in their life. So 211, that's easy. Just like 911, just hit 211. And you have a licensed resource specialist that can help you.
And tell you all the different programs that are available. If you know somebody that's having some rent troubles or just needs a food bank, call that. And I love how they compile the things that they get so they know what the need is in the area. That's they take the information that they get when somebody calls and says, this is something that maybe is underserved in this area, and we've getting calls on this, so this is something we need to see more about. So it's a great program. So what else have you got for us today?
We have our Robertson County / Cheatham County partner convening coming up. So as a funded partner, not only is obviously funding the major portion of that, but besides that, you have this network of other funded partners, and we do partner convenings quarterly, and they are usually a lunch and learn. This one is going to be out of the airport, the Robertson County Springfield Airport, and we'll have Vida there talking. We'll have hands-on speaking, and then we'll give an update also, just kind of what's going on with the funding process and our new
Your funding cycle?
cycle. Oh my goodness!
You're
I
getting
was
it.
like,
You need some coffee.
She's still
I
getting
need
the
more
garbage down.
coffee.
You're fine.
I need some more coffee. So yes, and the funding cycle, and we'll kind of go over that. It's from 11:30 to 1, and it's just one of the additional things that our partners get with United Way.
And when is that again?
That's on December 3rd.
December 3rd. And who is Vida?
That is the tax program.
Free tax
Oh,
prep.
that's right.
Yeah.
I knew I recognized it.
We
and I'm
schooled
like,
you
wow.
better than that,
Yes.
Meemaw. Come on now.
Sorry. Well, but it's like we haven't talked about it since first of the year.
I know, right? Yeah,
You know,
it's
but
coming
Vida,
up.
and I
Nobody
knew-
wants to think about
I
taxes
knew,
at the
I
holidays.
knew I
either.
recognized
No,
it.
yeah.
And I
We're-
remember.
We're spending right now. We're not thinking about what's to come in January, right?
Yeah, I've actually already started talking to my husband about the taxes. I want to not have to do an extension this year. I normally do an extension. And we always did one with the business because it just made more sense. And we haven't ran a business since 2009. It's time to start getting our taxes on time.
Yeah.
Quit filing an extension. It's a
Yeah.
waste of time and money.
Well.
But anyway, yes, VITA, the tax program, and then hands-on is hands-on Nashville. It's the
Yeah, they're now
Yeah, they're
hands-on.
just hands-on
They're
now.
basically the volunteer arm of the United Way now. So
Okay,
we
right.
merged officially in January. They work with us on a lot of corporate on-site volunteer opportunities. They also have a calendar that's updated regularly that has volunteer opportunities. So it's like, we got 5 people that want to go out on this day, because a lot of companies are moving towards this. I think we talked about this
yeah, a
with
lot.
HCA, where they're
HCA,
building
yes.
hours
Yeah.
within their and allowing their employees to go volunteer
Mm-hmm.
and take a PTO day basically, but it's specifically for volunteer hours. Our company does that as well, United Way. And so if you just got that, it's like, hey, me and my team, just
Mm-hmm.
the accounting folks are going to go volunteer. You can get on the hands-on calendar
Mm-hmm.
and find your date that works for you. And then they've got all the events, how many people they need, kind of the description of how heavy, like labor-wise, of a lift it's going to be. Because some people, you can't be going out and like climbing on roofs or whatever, but it may be something that you can sort things or whatever it is.
Right.
And so you can get on that calendar. It is anything volunteer wise. You want to volunteer, they will get you plugged in. That's their
great.
role. They're the experts at it. If your company has interest in it, say we can't leave. I just met with a company here locally that had some interest in that. They will come in, set up a kit packing, and do everything on site.
Oh, cool.
They get the supplies. All you do is show up and do the work. And then they get the stuff and get it distributed to where it needs to go as well.
Well, and you're talking
Yeah.
about the PTO. I mean, HCA, they do it on their time. You don't have to take PTO days to do it. I mean, my kids were
Yeah.
always going, I was over here doing this, and instead of, being in the office. And
Right.
it's great. And they're also, hands-on is also a coordinator when we have a disaster. They are
Absolutely.
wonderful about, because that's one of the hardest things when you have a disaster happen is, where's everybody go? It's like herding cats, and so they step in a lot. I hear them about them a lot in disaster.
They're one of the first
know,
people on the ground.
organization,
And
yeah.
when the
When it comes to
Clarksville
people.
tornadoes, the
Yeah,
tornado
gotta
that hit
help.
here, but
Yeah.
it's really impacted Clarksville. They
Right.
were one of the first ones to go, and because they're working with city officials as well, that are making sure like everybody wants to come in, get their
With their
chainsaws.
chainsaw,
That's
yeah.
great. Hey, we're the volunteer state, man. Don't lose that spirit.
Yeah.
But there's a way to funnel that energy properly so that everybody's getting taken care of, and so they work with the local folks to make sure that okay, we're doing this correctly. And then when it's time to enact those volunteers,
Yep.
they've got them lined up, ready to go. When we gave out some water here locally for folks. There were people driving from all over Middle Tennessee. We had people from like out in Lebanon area that came up because they just wanted to volunteer, and Hands On has that database, and so
Yeah.
they were able to plug all those people in. So it really mobilizes folks in the area that want to get involved when a disaster does strike.
I love our
Yeah.
spirit for that because
Yeah.
it's overwhelming the people who show up to just say, "What can I do to help?" It
They just want to do
blows
something. They'll
my
tell you.
mind.
They'll say, "I saw it on the news, broke my heart.
Yep.
I just want to do something to help." And then so that's what Hands On does. They'll take that energy, that good energy you got, and apply it where it needs to be, where it needs
It's
to go.
amazing.
Yes.
It's amazing. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm yawning.
can't-
I guess
you
I
yawn.
You need some more
too.
coffee,
Slow
too.
down.
Coffee. I've gotten off caffeine, and so it's like I drink
Oh.
decaf coffee, so I don't even know why I drink it. It's just kind
Does
of
it taste good?
I guess
It does.
I guess
I go half and
guess.
half. I have to go half and
Yeah.
half. now.
Really?
Yeah.
But,
'Cause it gives me
Oh.
headaches at like 11 o'clock, so I still need my
Oh,
caffeine.
I've gotten
Yeah.
rid of the caffeine headache by getting
Yeah.
off caffeine, and it's nice, But I have those moments. I'm like a little sluggish, and I'm like, "Ooh,
Not
caffeine
me.
would be
I'm
good."
full bore ahead.
Yeah.
I need a
I'll
cup
have a
of
little
coffee
bit
and
every
a
now and then,
tea.
but I'm trying to get off of it. But yeah, I was out too late last night. But what else we got? So we're talking to this is United Way. If you're not familiar with Brian and Catherine, they are part of the United Way here that has an office right off the square. It's where you would go for all the UT
Extension Office.
Yep.
Yep.
They're
5th
on-
and Main.
You go
Yeah.
around back. That's their office down there,
Yep.
and so very accessible. And if you have any questions about any of they are the bridge builders to the nonprofits in our area.
Yep.
Just like the chamber is the bridge builder to the businesses, they are the bridge builder to the nonprofits, and they do a beautiful job. It's been a wonderful partnership with what y'all have been bringing in, and just keeping us up to date on everything going on. So
Try to.
very good.
We need to get our new cohort in here too. She's
Yeah.
already hit the ground running. Your old friend Ace, so she's making it happen already, and we'll get her in here, and she can do all her little updates
that
as well.
blows my mind that Ace has come back around, and
She couldn't stay away.
She couldn't-
couldn't
I mean-
stay
so
away.
she's officially started with y'all.
She
Yes.
started last week, so she was
Okay.
already. We did give thanks. It was like old times. So yeah, she was trying to boss me around, telling me what to do. So
Yeah,
it's just like it never left. So
Some things never change.
That's
Is that
right.
what you're
There you
saying?
go.
That's right.
She's fun. She's fun to watch. She just like and she's fun. But yeah, I saw where they put it. They were looking for somebody to replace the job she had at the city, and I figured she was there. So I kind of wouldn't be surprised for her just popping on in here.
yeah, we'll get her in here. So they keep her. She's out, kind of doing all the outer counties. We just call them that, outside of Davidson County. So she stays on the road quite a bit, but
Right.
she's obviously based here and be around working here a lot. So we'll
Okay.
get her back around. So,
That'll be fun.
yeah,
That'll
yeah,
be
yeah.
fun.
But we are in the midst of our just real quick campaign season.
Right.
We have some local stuff here. I just want to shout out a few companies. Farmers Bank wrapped theirs up. I just mentioned theirs. Not only the campaign, but also give thanks. They are literally a model for me on how you do it and how you get involved in your community. And anything that we have coming up, I throw it their way, and they typically say, "Yeah, we'd like to do that."
Sure,
so
we'll
that's
be a part of that.
They want to be involved, and I know it's not just us. I see their name attached to a lot of
I
their
do
stuff,
too.
and
Yeah.
they have a spirit of giving inside of that bank. And I think what you also notice, I've been doing their campaign for 5 years. When I go and meet with their people and I go inside their banks, I see a lot of the same faces over and over and over. There's a reason for that. They work for a company that cares about their community and gets involved, and I think people like being a part of that as a workplace. And so if you're thinking about that for your company, the statistics show employee retention, I know, is a big thing. Getting good people and keeping good people is a good thing. And if you want to do that, I think being involved in your community and being engaged in some way is a big part of that. And so we can help you do that through a campaign, through these volunteer opportunities we're talking about. Give thanks. We'll have more days of action coming up next year. We're kind of that was our last one for this year, but if you want to get involved, let us know. Got Cumberland Electric. Speaking of a company that gets involved, they're coming up. Their kickoff is next week, and so we'll be out talking to all their folks throughout their area. And then also, I know they have gotten involved with, I know last year a project, and I think it's coming up again at our my son's school out at Coopertown, where they pick up they do a can drive and work with United Ministries on that. So it's just another way that it's just all working together, and we love to see that in conjunction with what we're doing. So just shouting out a couple of local companies. Appreciate what you do. If you're interested in doing a campaign, please let me know. Again, my number is 615-780-2401. We have some companies that just want to do a corporate gift a year in, I know, for tax purposes or whatever. We love those, because what we'll do is we'll put them in the general fund. Catherine, her team, the volunteers that are going to go through and allocate those funds and get them to all of our partner agencies. That just makes their job a little bit easier, because it gives us more funds to do that. So if you just want to write a check, you don't have time to do a whole lot, we love checks, because then we're able to get that to where it needs to go, where our partner agencies, to make the biggest impact in this place that we love so much and we live and work.
Give your phone number one more time.
615-780. That's the third time I've done it. So this will be 4, but we do it. 615-780-2401. 615-780-2401. Be glad to just come meet with you, talk about what we've got available. We had Helen Cotton just came back as a partner for us again this year, as a corporate partner, and excited about that, and want to get involved in different ways. And so we'll come meet. It's a really painless process. I promise you 30 minutes. I'll lay out what we got, and then you can decide what works best for you. But if you want to get involved, it's like, I don't know how to get involved. Let us do the work for you. We'll make sure to get you where you need to go, and so that you're able to get your employees doing something in the community. I promise you'll be better off for it, and we'll make it easy as we can.
I've said it many times. Yeah. My 2 boys at HCA, they talk all the time about the involvement of the company in the nonprofits and the things that they get to do, and how fulfilling it is. And I can't say enough about it. It's one of the things they love most about that company, and it's huge.
Happy employees, fulfilled employees, they don't job hunt as much. Yeah. And then the statistics show that. Well, I'll get smart one day, make some notes. I have statistics on this I can bring in, but it will blow your mind. And I talk to HR people all the time, and I'm like, well, what you got going on right now? We're trying to hire people for this thing, and because we lost this good person. They deal with it all the time. But if you get good people and want to retain them, there's a way to do that on top of pay and the quality of work. We all know that, but it has to be, especially this younger generation is what they're finding. They want to be engaged in their community. They want to work for a company that cares about their community. It's all part of the package for them. And so that's why you're seeing a lot of these companies give these days to go volunteer within the company structure, because they know that the fulfill is a great way to put that. They have a more fulfilled employee. They're gonna be less likely to be looking around. It's like, man, I work for a good company. I'm good where I'm at. Yeah.
So give them a call. If you want to get your campaign going. And let's take a break, and we'll continue. Y'all kind of put your heads together to see if there's anything else we need to talk about. And before we finish up the show, though, we've got to talk about the Chili Willy Bowl that's happening this weekend. This is the last chance to get to the races, guys. We are going to finish off the racing season. They extended it because they had the late start because of all the renovations. We talked a lot about that. But the Veterans Motorplex at the Rim has been a great partner for us here at One Street Over. We appreciate them so much. This is the last weekend, though. If you want to get out to the races, this is going to be a fun one. They're calling it the Chili Willy Bowl, 1,000 to win, 75-lap Crown Vics, 500 to win, a 40-lap Pure Stocks, 100-lap Sportsman, 20-lap Big Dogs, 30-lap SRM Pro 4 Series, 20-lap Scrapers, 20-lap Bandoleros Trophy Dash, and a 30-lap Ridge Runners plus late models. It's going to be a good time. They're going to have things for the kids to do. They got a great concession stand. A lot of my students have worked there at the concession stand. It's one of their first jobs they get. It is a fun family atmosphere. The renovations look beautiful out there. You don't want to miss it. This will be your last chance to see the races here in Robertson County until March. And they'll open on time in March without the renovations, so they're excited for what's going to be next year. But they want to finish this year off big with this race. They had so many that had to cancel because of weather. So they're saying, let's finish big. Let's get out really and support everything going on at Veterans Motorplex at the Rim. This is the old historic Highland Rim Speedway. Follow them at Highland Rim Speedway so you always know everything that's happening at the Speedway. They are at 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. $40 can get your whole family in unless you have more than 6 kids. You can get up to 6 kids, 2 adults in for a $40 ticket price. Great deal, great place. You're going to love it. You have no idea how much fun the races are if you haven't been in a while. It is a blast. I absolutely love it. Get out to the races last weekend to do that. And when you go by, please let Jerry know. We appreciate it.
On the volunteer process that we have coming up for our funded partner. So we just got through the application, the review process, the financial portion that ended October 25th, and so now the companies that have made it through that portion are now in the ability to apply, and so that is open until December 6th. So they're going through that process now. Once that closes, the next thing will be for volunteers within the county to go out and do site visits and review applications and help with allocations of funds. And it's really important that we get local residents that help review these applications and help do the site visits, because the funds that are being allocated throughout our county are coming from recommendations of people that reside within the county. So you're not getting somebody from Williamson County helping to decide on funding for Robertson. So we want local people that know our county and live in our county and represent our county and understand the need that our county has here in Robertson to help review that. So we're starting that process now. If anybody's interested in volunteering and kind of figuring out more of what that process looks like and the time commitment and what that really kind of looks like step by step, then I'd be happy to have that conversation with them.
Well, that was my first one as you were talking, is the time commitment. Can you give us a general idea of what kind of a time commitment, like to say, do I think I could possibly do this?
Over the total time commitment is probably looking at about 15 hours.
Okay, so not
spread out over time. It's not in
Yeah.
one day or 1 week even, and that's spread out over
just
time.
a few meetings.
Yeah, it's a
things
few
like that.
meetings.
I've done this. It's not a heavy lift.
No.
If you're interested in how money is distributed, but also how like the nonprofits work together in your community, it's a great way to do it. Also to feel a part of it, because you make the recommendations.
Right.
It's then sent up to the board. They do not reject the volunteer suggestions. It's just a formality. But like you get to be a part of how the money's allocated in your community and where it goes. And
That's a great idea.
so
I had no idea y'all did that.
that's the way it's always been done.
That's my
Yeah,
mind.
It's always been
not
done.
my decision or Brian's
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah.
It's the
like
volunteer.
They guide. So
Yeah.
Catherine will kind of guide the process.
Say, hey,
Right.
this is United Ministries. Here's what they do. This is
Right.
what we,
But-
They'll
this is-
review, they'll
yeah.
read, they'll visit with them. They can ask questions. I mean, there's a whole process that it goes through, but most importantly is that we need volunteers from within our counties and within our communities to help with that review process and be
Right.
a part of it. And then you get also that fulfillment of knowing that you helped make those decisions. You understand the need within your community. You understand what these funds are going towards. And it's a great way to just educate yourself on the different nonprofits within our community and what they do for help our residents.
And it's too to have that peace of mind of knowing these things have been vetted,
Yeah.
and to know
Thoroughly,
that if
yeah.
Thoroughly.
vetted, so you know that if something's going to them through United Way, that it is a good charity that it's a good nonprofit that you can pour into.
And you don't need an accounting degree or any kind of qualification background, just a heart for your community. That's really all you need, and just be
Right.
willing to listen and kind of try to go through the material. But they'll guide through the process.
Yeah,
So you
there's
don't
an
need to like any
application
kind
they
of
can fill out.
special deal to do this. I did it, if that gives you an idea. So it was my first year. I didn't know anything. So he's like, you need to do this to be good for you. She was right, because it gave me an idea of just how everything worked and then what all was being done in the community. So if you've ever been curious,
Yeah,
it's a
you
great
don't have to
time.
have you don't have to be a CPA, or you don't have to have some specific background.
We like different
a
backgrounds,
variety
too,
is
'cause
wonderful.
different eyeballs are gonna look at it a little differently, and when different opinions are
Yeah.
good in this case. So
I have to just kind of hitch on what you said. You mentioned accountant. You mentioned CPA. They will need you in the VITA program.
Now, yes, we do. If
Yes,
you got
for
people,
that
VITA.
process.
you got people that love taxes.
Mention those. I was
You'd
like,
be surprised. There are people who say, I love doing taxes.
know
I'm like,
it.
what
It's
is
great.
wrong with you? But thank you. I'm glad you exist. I'm not one of those people, but I'm glad these people are walking around amongst us. Yeah.
But they will need the accountants.
Yes,
and the
we do
CPAs.
need you
Oh,
for
they
that.
need
Yes, please.
For sure. And if they want to be a part of this committee that's going to make these decisions, they need to reach out to you.
Yep. They can
Contact
email me.
information twice.
Okay. So they can email me at catherine.stewart@unitedwaygn.org.
Okay, one more time.
Catherine.stewart@unitedwaygn.org.
Or you can just come down to the United Way office.
Come down
Hey, hey.
to the United Way office, or if you
Yeah.
ever send anything on Facebook, I monitor our Facebook page as well. So if you have any questions, you can always send it out that way, and
Come visit us
Or,
at Rotary
yeah.
on Wednesdays,
Yeah.
noon.
Oh, there you go.
Wednesday, 12 o'clock, I'll be there.
F&M Bank.
F&M Bank
Get
upstairs.
you a lunch. Come talk to Catherine.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
There we go. We're a couple of minutes over, so
Yeah.
Will took it. Well, no, Will took a couple of minutes of y'all's time, so I didn't want to make. I want to make sure we get it all in. That's it, right, guys?
That's
That
it.
That's it.
Awesome.
That's it.
Thank you, guys. That's it for us. This is, we'll have tomorrow. Rachel Culver will be in the house for Faith Friday. You don't want to miss that. That's always fun, my sister. And thank you for joining us. God
Oh, yeah. Well, today I find myself overwhelmed.